This month's episode of Paranormal Heart is brought to you by Nodakian Studios. If you're looking for a beautiful piece of stoneware pottery, check out Nodakian Studios at etsy.com/shop/Nodakian Studios. And also check her out on Facebook at facebook.com/Nodakian Studios, where you can see updates on where she's going to be, as well as giveaways. Go check it out.
Welcome to Paranormal Heart, a place where people can talk about their paranormal experiences. With your host, Kat Ward.
Happy New Year, everyone. Wow, 2019 already. It's hard to believe. Welcome back to Paranormal Heart, your monthly podcast, where you can find it the very last Sunday of every month. You can find it on Podbean, YouTube, TuneIn, Spotify, and now Boo and I are pleased to say that we're also on Paranormal Radio, and so honored to be on IamDarkWaters.com. That's right, I have joined the Dark Waters family. So that is very, very awesome. And thank you so much, Dark Waters, for having us. So, episode 14, I have a very interesting guest. His name is David Guddy. He's written a book called A Guest in My House. He's got some really, really interesting experiences that he's had. So I hope that you will pick up his book. We will mention it at the end of the show where you can find it. So please help me welcome David Guddy. Hey, David, welcome to Paranormal Heart. Thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good.
Good. So, I understand you have some very interesting experiences with the paranormal.
Yes, many. So many I wrote a book.
Yeah, and I can't wait to get to that part. So, if you just wanted to start right from the beginning and how everything started.
Sure. I was about 4 or 5 years old. And my mom, they had a Ouija board. So I started playing with a Ouija board at the young age of 4 or 5 years old.
Wow.
And it was me, my mom, and her sister. And we would ask it questions, and I thought it was fascinating the way I'd see the answer. You know, at first I thought they were moving it, but as later, then I noticed later on, they weren't moving it. As I got a chance to play with it, they let me play with it. Yeah, and I knew it was moving by itself, but it was just so fascinating. But I think that opened the door to many things later on in life, because of course at that young age I didn't really get to see that much. I seen some things in the house we lived at or the apartment we lived at, but not too many things started happening until later in life. So, but at different places I lived at, different things would happen. So later on in life, we moved to me and my mom. My parents bought a house, and we had some things happen in that house. Of course, we still played with the Ouija board. I think the last time I played with the Ouija board was at my mom's house, the one they had bought. And we asked her the question. We asked her, do you believe in God? Just to see what it would do. Mm-hmm. And the thing that's on the thing here, what's it called, the palette? The
planchette?
Yes, that thing flew off the board.
Wow.
It flew across the back. I was in the backyard on the patio, and we had the board on my mom's lap, and we were playing with it, and the thing just flew off right under our fingers.
Wow.
It flew off the board, so that we said, we put that away and didn't play with it anymore at that time. Yeah. We're done with this, but...
How old were you at that time?
I was about 13 or 14.
Do you recall because when you're playing with the Ouija board, you should say goodbye at the end? Do you recall if you did that?
It didn't give us a chance to say goodbye. It just flew off the board.
Wow.
No, we knew that. We knew the rules. I mean, if you don't say goodbye, you leave the door open.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Were you able
so
to
that's
retrieve
when
the
we knew
planchette?
that it didn't even give me a chance to say goodbye.
Wow.
It just
I guess it
flew
didn't
off
like
the
that
board.
question.
I know, right? That's what we thought. It didn't like anything about God, so we didn't. We put it away after that. But after that, I went on my own. I ended up getting an apartment. I'm on my own. Actually, I got a girlfriend, and we ended up getting a place, an apartment. We had actually we started off in a house in Cleveland, over on the west side, and certain things that happened. I didn't even have a Ouija board, but things were happening in the house. I think we had a spirit in that house. Because she would have, she'd crochet, and all of a sudden her crocheting needles would all be put away, and the yarn, and she was blaming me for putting it away. I go, honey, I didn't touch it, So here the needles and all that were put away, and then I would hear in the middle of the night, or the early morning actually, I would hear myself, I would hear somebody say, David, wake up. And I would hear my name called. I'd get up and nobody's there. I'm asking, and I asked her, "Did you call me?" She was like, "No, I didn't call you." So I'm like, we would hear things like that, and the television at that place would come on and off by itself, and we'd have lights flickering on and off. So excuse me, we were in a double at that time. The house in Cleveland was a double we rented. So we were upstairs, and it was the lights would blink, and the TV would come on and off. But I heard my name several times. So anyway, she had won a contest to win a digital camera. So I heard you could catch the spirits on a digital camera. They would show up. So in our bedroom, I heard, where I was hearing the spirits, hearing my name called, I decided I was going to get to the bottom of this. So I took the camera in, and I shut the door, and I shut off all the lights. And I just started taking pictures at random. And I found when I reviewed them, I put them on my computer, and I reviewed the pictures, and I seen a picture of like a young girl. She was like about maybe in her 20s, early 20s, and she was like a maid. She had a black outfit, like a maid's outfit on, and it caught the reflection off of some of the furniture in the room, and I caught the picture, and it was crazy because her hair was done look like in ponytails or something. Right. And she had a white collar around like the maid's outfit. Exactly like that. I figured it was from the 1800s at least. I found out, we did some research on that, and we found out that where we lived at that time, it was like a covered wagon route would come through. So we thought she could have been part of a bed and breakfast there at one time. And just stayed with the property, Right. But that was happening there. Then we moved from there. We went to we got an apartment in Medina, Ohio, and once there, still had some things going on there. One night I woke up, and I seen there was a light on in the living room, like one of those tall lamp lights. It was like a standing light was on, but I had there was a small table next to it, and I had a light from like a lantern light. It was just a floodlight lantern light you take camping. Right. Yep. So I looked to the left, and the big light was on. And if I moved right, I had to wait a long hallway. So the left would go into the living room where the lights were. The reason I got up was to go to the bathroom, but I noticed the light was on. So I go in the bathroom and did what I had to do, and it came out. And the big light was off now, and the little light was on. Wow. So I woke my girlfriend up. I go, "Did you get up and just change the lights?" She's like, "No, why?" Because the big light was on when I went to the bathroom. I come out, now the little light's on, and the light's off. So, and we heard our names called still there, so I think it must have been something following me. But what happened was, it got really, I don't say bad, but it got really intense when I bought a house. I would end up buying a house years later. I bought this house where actually I wrote the book in. It was in Seville. It was a country house. 5 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms on 2 acres. Well, nice. Yeah, I come to find out, I'm going to get ahead a little bit, but just to make everything fall into place. Once we found out we had spirits in the house, because I started remodeling and I found out that when I remodeled, that's when the spirits started talking to me. I had in my laundry room, which would be my laundry room, I had a spirit talk to me and tell me, actually, I was watching Ghost Adventure and things like that at the time. So that compelled me to go buy a digital recorder so I could do an EVP session. Mm. So I started messing with the EVPs, and I was talking back and forth to spirit, kind of like what I'm talking to you, but I was using the recorder as a device of communication. So I'd ask a question and then wait for an answer, ask a few questions, wait for an answer. So I started asking, what's your name? And I didn't get nothing. I asked your name, what's your name again? And I heard, fuck you. I'm like, whoa, what's this coming from?
Yeah.
Then I figured out he was agitated. I kept asking the same question, Mm-hmm. So, but I finally got to the end of it, and he told me his name was Jimmy. So that was just one of the 5 spirits. I ended up finding out that we had 5 spirits in the house in Seville.
And you determined that through your EVPs?
Yeah, from the EVPs, he told me there was 5 spirits in the house. That there was 4 other spirits there, and they were all trapped. So I didn't understand how they were trapped, Mm-hmm. So, but I couldn't figure out how to get. I even used the pendulum there. And once I used I got the voices. I started using the pendulum to swing back and forth with maybe, yes, or no. Mm-hmm. And find out to communicate them like that. But yeah, we had one of the girls that was in the spirits that were in my house was Sally, and she had been there a long time, but she was buried in the cemetery about a quarter mile down the road from my house. It was called Mound Cemetery in Seville, and Mound Cemetery in Seville, mm-hmm. And we checked out what she said. We went online, checked the records, and sure enough, she was the only Sally in that cemetery.
Wow. And
she was buried there over like 100-some years ago. But their spirit was still in my house. Mm. It was really quite interesting. But she told us that she thought someone had cursed them to stay in the house where there was a bunch of them. So I don't know what happened, but we thought they were cursed. But, excuse me. So, then the one night we're laying in bed and we smell perfume. And I hear this woman. We could hear. At that time, I started hearing voices without the recorders. So we heard the voice say, we asked, "Who is it? Who's there? Who's there?" And here was a woman that was passing through. She had just died around the neighborhood maybe like a few weeks ago, and she was coming through by the house here. She told me, your backyard, there's a natural energy field. I go, no, I didn't know that. And this is the natural energy field ran through the whole, from the laundry room all the way through the back into the woods. I had woods behind my house. So that would be like a feeding ground where the spirits would come and feed off the natural energy. Mm-hmm. So that's why I ended up having the spirits that I had in my house. And she said, the spirits out there can hear you talking, and they know they know that you can hear the spirits talking. So then I started getting more spirits in my house that wanted to talk to me because I knew I could hear them. Yep. Because people, those spirits they're bored and there's like not much to do. And once they find out you can hear them, mm-hmm. they come and they talk to you. Right. And they'll keep bothering you. Maybe not necessarily to scare you, but at least to get conversation from you. Yep. So we end up, I am going outside, and once I found out that, I took a notebook out and pad and pen said, I wanted to talk to some spirits because I was thinking about writing a book, and I wanted to know. I had a lot of questions about the other side, and I wanted to know what happened and what's it like, being a spirit. Mm-hmm. So, and can you travel? And I thought about all these questions. So we went out there, and I got a few spirits, and I asked them, "Would you come to my house and where I could sit down with you and ask you questions and answer them?" And they agreed to it. So sounds crazy, but it was quite crazy.
Doesn't sound crazy at all.
So anyways, yeah, they come in the house one at a time. We had sometimes we had 4 or 5 spirits you could see in my living room waiting to talk to me.
Huh. Like a waiting room.
Oh, it was like a waiting room. Yeah, it was crazy. I'm serious. You could see them sitting on the couch and everything because I had put up a camera, so I could see what was going on in the house. Mm-hmm. So when I monitored it, I could see the spirits sitting on the couch waiting to talk to me. It was incredible.
Wow.
Yeah, so they had a lot of interesting stories which are in the book. They're all true stories. Um, but yeah, I interviewed probably over 70 spirits. It took me about a year and a half to write the book.
That's amazing. That's a lot.
Doing all the research.
Yeah.
All the ghost stories. And I found out also that the first Friday of every month, that energy field, there would be witches would come and demons would come, and they would clear out that area so they could charge up and use that energy field, and they would kick all the spirits out of there. So I thought that was pretty crazy, but a lot of spirits would go there they would just charge up. I had spirits come there from Canada. I had a spirit he's been walking the earth for over 200 years. He walked from Canada. He would come from Canada to my yard to fill up. This energy field's been there for like hundreds of years on my land, and I had no idea until the one spirit told me about it. It was crazy.
But do you think, like, was that one? That's actually where I'm from, Canada.
Okay.
So the Canadian one, it was a he?
Yes.
Did he mention
he was from
that?
Ottawa?
Oh yeah, it's just a couple hours away from me.
Okay.
Did he say that he was traveling for a while, or he was just drawn to you, and all of a sudden he wanted to go see you?
No, he was been traveling this way. Mm-hmm. He had come from part of the settlement that was coming, and his wife was they would travel from Ohio to Ottawa, and he would tell me how long it would take. When they were back, they were using actually covered wagons to get back and forth. Mm-hmm. And long story short, his wife ended up getting sick in that, and he had to leave her. But he was a spirit traveling, and she had died after he had died. So, but it's in the book. I don't remember word for word what happened, but it's a very interesting story. But there's so many people that I spoke to that were from all over. I spoke to people from Ohio. Like I said, from Canada, from all over. I've had people tell me that, as the spirits tell me, I would ask them questions. The whole reason I did this was to find out, how do they travel and do they sleep, So I asked, how do you travel? And they said, well, we just close our eyes and think about where we want to go, and we're there. So they pretty much teleport themselves.
Yeah.
It's not so much about them flying, but they said they're not allowed to go up like in the air, like in the second heaven. Mm-hmm. They get kicked out. They have to walk. So like any spirits that get on planes, they think it's funny because they'll see the spirits fall out of the plane because they get kicked off the plane.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, no spirits can fly on planes.
And I've always wondered if there was paranormal activity in aircraft.
No, they're not allowed in the second heavens, they said.
Because I've never heard of it, so I've been really itching to talk to, flight attendants, pilots, but no one seems to want to say anything, so I don't know. Yeah, that's really interesting.
They said there was nothing allowed. Anybody that tried to fly got kicked off. So as soon as the plane took off, you see these spirits fall out of the plane and fall back to the ground.
I wonder why they're not allowed.
I don't know. It's a good question. They didn't tell me. They said they weren't allowed, so I took it as that. What else? And then traveling, they close their eyes and they imagine where they want to go when they're there. I had a woman tell me one time she wanted to see the inside of the pyramids in Egypt. She had passed away. So she thought about going to see the pyramids, and she thought about being inside the pyramids. So she ended up getting inside the pyramids as a spirit, Mm-hmm. She was, I got to see everything no one else could. I go, yeah, but you're dead. I mean, this isn't like, check out everything around the world because you passed.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what she took it as, like a tourist thing, where she could go everywhere she wanted, in places that no one else could go. She thought it was fascinating that she could see things that she couldn't see in life.
That would be fascinating to do.
Yeah, it is. I mean, if you stop and think about it, because what I'll get to, I'm starting to skip ahead. What happens was when you die, let me go back to when you die. They told me what happened when you die. So, okay, when a person dies, and my mom, I told my mom all about this. My mom had cancer while I was writing this book. She had lymph node cancer. and she recently passed away in
Oh, sorry to hear that.
2014, in April of 2014. So I had a chance to write quite a bit of the book, because the book didn't get released till June of 15. So, but I would tell her as I was writing the book what was going on. And I told her, when you die, because we knew she was going to pass away sooner or later, she had stage 4 cancer. So what I was told was, when you die, you're going to meet an angel. An angel will be there, meet you when you die. And you'll talk to that angel, and that angel will explain everything. You'll have an option. You can either stay on Earth as an earthbound spirit, or you can go to your light. If you go to your light, that'll decide. If you see family in the light, that you're in good shape, because that means you're going to be going to heaven.
Right.
If you don't see family in your light, or nobody's there in your light waiting for you, that's not a good thing. But yeah. So the angel will be waiting there for you, and then there's rules he's going to give you. You can't move anything. You can't help your family. Like people say, well, I'm going to stay behind and help my family. You can't. You're not allowed. If you stay behind, you can observe, but you cannot cause anything to change anything in their life. You can't help them in any way. You can only observe and watch. Some people want to stay back because they want to watch their kids grow up and their grandkids grow up.
Yeah.
That's fine. You can do that, but you can't do anything to change their lives.
That must be frustrating.
Oh, can you imagine? Yeah, I mean, the lottery tickets for tomorrow's drawing, you want to give them to your kid. And you can't do nothing,
Yeah.
Or to save your kid. If he's in a fall or a car accident's coming and you want to get in front of him, you're not an angel. You're not there. You can't save them. You can't intervene. You can only observe and maybe kind of try to talk to them and while you're here on Earth, and let them know that you're with them. But you can't do anything to intervene with them. But I had one spirit tell me that he left here's what in Ohio here. He was upset about what had happened. Him and his son. He got mad at his son or something. It was his son has gotten into drugs and stuff, and his son married, and the girl was pregnant. And something happened where they got in a car accident, and the father, the spirit I was talking to, thought it was his fault that they got in a car accident or something. It was and what happened was he ended up blaming himself so much that he ended up hanging himself. But he left his son a note explaining everything in the note, how he thought, what he thought had happened. And he couldn't stand himself to blame himself for them all dying with a baby on the way. So come to find out, though, after the kids read the note and everything, it wasn't the father's fault at all. So he hung himself for no reason. But he tells me he still keeps an eye on his son. Like he'll go over his son's house and he'll sleep on his couch. He said. And he said there's things also as evil spirits that'll come and bother us. They're not demons, but they're evil spirits. They have bad intentions. I've had a couple of spirits say, I had evil spirits try to recruit me, kind of. They wanted me to go cut somebody's brake lines so they fail. Or they wanted to go into this empty house here and start a fire. And they said they didn't want to do it. So, but I thought it was interesting. So they kind of got these evil spirits out there that recruit others for their causes.
They probably knew that you could hear them, so that they were probably just drawn to you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've had that happen. When we were in, I'd be out to eat with my girlfriend. We'd be at, let's say McDonald's or Fridays or something. And I'd be talking to her. We'd just be talking maybe about the book, maybe about listening to spirits and stuff. Once they find out you could hear them, I would get taps on my shoulders and like, I'd be like, my arms moved, or my hands touched. Or my head, and I would say, okay, who's here, and what do you want? Then we could hear them and talk to them. So it's pretty interesting. Then they would tell us their story. Oh, I just was in a car accident on this street over here about a year ago, and I've been wandering the area, and it's hard to find anybody to talk to because nobody pays attention to listen.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. So many times, one time I came home, there was upstairs, we had candles in the house. This is a house in Seville. I came upstairs. I went upstairs, and there was a candle lit. That was lit. So I asked my girlfriend, "Hey, did you leave a candle lit?" She's like, "No." Yeah, well, that's funny because there's a candle lit up here, but no one lit the candle. We didn't light it.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a candle lit. Another time I came home from I think dinner or something, and all my kitchen doors were open, all the cabinet drawers were open, like pulled open, just like you see in those movies.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it. I didn't know who or what was doing it. We knew he had spirits in the house, so we attributed it to that. It wasn't scary, but if I didn't know I had spirits in the house, I'd be terrified.
right.
But every cabinet door was open, and all the drawers were pulled out.
Do you think it was just their way of trying to say, "Hey, we're here"?
I guess. I don't know. But once we shut them, no one ever said anything about it, so we just let it go. But that was one of the other things that happened in the house. But you hear doorknobs jiggling and doors open and closing all the time. Mm. When I first found out I had spirits in the house, I guess like you said, they wanted to make their presence known.
Did you have any? Do you have any pets in the house?
Oh yeah, I had 3 dogs.
Oh, excuse me.
I had 2 golden retrievers and a Rottweiler.
Have they ever reacted?
Oh yeah, the golden retrievers would definitely. You could see them like one golden retriever, Sugar. She would kind of use her. She was like follow them with her head, or she'd go to the corner where maybe something was. Or I thought I saw a shadow figure. I think she might have seen it too, because she would go to that place, and she would just sit there and look up at it. And then we get cold spots in the house. Or if you're walking around, all of a sudden you feel a cold spot where there was no window open and nothing was on. There was no air conditioner or nothing on there. So you get cold spots, and you get the dogs would definitely be barking sometimes at nothing. My one dog was kind of crazy. She would just bark at anything. But she would look up. You'd see her sitting down, looking up, and just barking away, like she's barking at somebody. Mm-hmm. But the other one would sit there and just look, kind of like curious, and just see, like she would just stare at the person or whatever was there. But the Rottweiler, one time I was yelling at the Rottweiler for something, and I had my digital recorder on, and I was yelling at the Rottweiler, and the spirit must have been mad at me for yelling at the Rottweiler. And all of a sudden the spirit goes, "You want to scare somebody? Scare me."
No.
Talking to me, Wow. I'm like, wow. Yeah, this was my personal experiences in the book.
Yeah.
Within the first chapter, I talk about this. My Rottweiler, I couldn't believe it. I felt so bad after that. I didn't mean to scare him or try to intimidate him, but I heard my dog talk to me on the recorder. Mm-hmm. The dog, he's like crying, like he's moaning. Well, anyways, those turned into words when on the recorder. I heard the dog talk, and he said, "I'm scared. I'm scared."
Wow.
Oh yeah, I had the tape. I heard, "I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared," because he was panning while he was talking. And he was like, "I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared." That's when the spirit jumped in and said, "You want to scare somebody? Scare me." Mm. I'm like, wow, that was amazing.
I've never heard of that happening. Like that you can actually pick up what your pet is saying on a voice recorder. That's amazing.
I know, because I heard him say, "I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared." I'm like, wow. But
So you said, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm just thinking about other stories in the book I can tell you.
No, I was just curious, because you said that it pretty much started when you were young and you were playing with the Ouija board. Do you know if you've had any family members that ever had any experiences, like grandparents or anything like that, or uncles? Or do you figure it started with the Ouija board?
To my knowledge, I don't think anybody else had any experiences like what I had.
Yeah.
I think it might have been just, you watch all these TV shows. Paranormal is very popular right now.
Yes, it is.
You can almost turn any channel and get a paranormal show.
Right.
Or somebody discussing it, or somebody's been to heaven and back and to tell you about heaven. Mm-hmm. But I haven't had any other family talk to me about anything like this. When I came out and I started talking to my mom about it, she was like, she didn't have nothing. She just listened. and they were my grandmother, and them, they all knew they would buy me ghost books for Christmas to read.
Yeah.
You know, in the most haunted places in Ohio, so I could visit if I wanted to. But no one ever. I mean, they got the copies of the book, but no one ever said anything about something that happened to them or their personal experiences. I think it goes back to with me as in the Ouija board when I was like 4 or 5 years old.
It sounds like it.
I mean, that didn't open the doors. I think I didn't get any demons following me or anything like that. But I think it did open a portal to follow me around as a spirit, you know, in some way or another. I don't know. But I've had spirits follow me, and I've always felt like in touch with the paranormal side my whole life.
Have you ever tried to look into the history of the house?
Of that house? There was, I knew the house wasn't that old. The house I stayed in actually was built in 76. So I painted the house because I had a painting company. So I ended up painting that house. That's how I ended up buying the house. The house was up for sale. It was sitting around for a while. So I ended up meeting the owner. They were from Vermont and up in like that area, and he was selling the house, and because his mother wasn't doing that great. So I had met him to do the paint job, and I met his mother. Finally, come over to the house one day, and he said, "Hey, why don't you buy this house?" I go, "Because I was looking to buy a house, you know." He goes, "Why don't you buy this house? It's got the property. You got 2 acres out there. You got 5 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms here." I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds good." So, but that's when I didn't know anything about it. Even when we were working in the house, I would take pictures of before and afters, and I had tons of orbs. And I knew enough to know the orbs meant the house was haunted. I mean, it looked like it was snowing. That's how many orbs were there.
Wow.
It was crazy. But you get the feeling sometimes, like if you're in one of the rooms alone, you feel like somebody's watching you. So, I mean, I attribute that to the 5 spirits that were in the house when I bought the house.
Has a previous owner ever said anything to you?
No. I met him when he was there. I mean, he was there, and he didn't say anything about the house being haunted. No one did.
It's possible they never had any activity. And
you know what? You got to remember,
sensitive.
I started remodeling, so I think the remodeling might have woke the spirits up.
That was my next question. Yeah. And where you can actually hear them, and they know that, they're probably drawn to you as well.
Oh, yeah, I would get all kinds of spirits from outside wanting to talk to me once they started. Once they found out I could talk to them. And then we found out we could send some of them to the light. So my girlfriend and I would create the light in the house, and we'd tell them, if you want to go to the light, you come in. So they said they would see a lot of spirits come in, and they wouldn't come out, and they wanted to know what I was doing with those spirits. I'm like, because they come out, you know.
Yeah.
I go, well, we were sending them to the light. So I always give them an offer. If you want to go to the light, I can send you to the light, you know. So they would say, yeah, I want to go. I've been walking the earth for maybe 100 years or 60 years. I'm tired. I want to go home. You know, I want to go through my light and be done. So I thought that was good. So, but we sent quite a few of them to the light.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Oh, yeah.
Do you use any protections? Do you have like prayers or crystals or anything like that?
My next thing was that, he had to have prayers and angels with all the people we talked to and things we talked to. Because we did talk to some entities, but so you had to have a lot of protection around those things. And even the spirits, so they don't cling on to you. Like when you go into somewhere, like I didn't expect it, but I would end up having a spirit in my car when I was on my way home. One time, this is funny. I had a CD in the stereo player. All of a sudden, my CD pops out, and the channel started changing. So then we could hear the spirit talking to us. The girl didn't like that kind of music, so she popped my CD out and started putting on what she liked. I'm like, well, that's nice, but this is my car, and I'm alive. I think I rule.
What kind of music were you listening to?
I think I had some Van Halen on or something.
Yeah. Good music.
Some rock music. Yeah, it wasn't bad music, but she didn't like it, and she popped the CD out and changed the channel on me. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Do you recall what she wanted to listen to?
Pressing country or something. We were out in Medina. We're out in the country, so I figured I picked her up in the country.
Yeah.
Then I bought a used Porsche from a friend of mine I was painting for. Well, we found out that there was a spirit inside the car that came with the car.
Oh,
I had no
wow.
idea when I bought the car. When I got it home, we could see there was a girl in the car. So we had to let her out until she could come out that she can't stay in the car.
As
And
long
she
as
ended up
it's
coming
not
in my
like
house and staying in
Christine.
the house for a minute.
Say that again, sorry?
There was a girl that I bought a car, a used
Yeah.
vehicle, a Porsche from a friend of mine. And I found out that there was a girl in the car, a spirit of a girl that was in the car. I think she had been in a car accident in that car, and she never left the car. So she ended up wanting to come in the house. I think she ended up coming to my house for maybe a couple of days, and then we told her she had to leave. But she didn't want to go anywhere. So, I mean, we picked up spirits, like even going to Walmart or to a restaurant, pick up a spirit, and next thing you know, they want to go home with you.
Yeah.
And that's the case with anybody, not just me, I think. I mean, anybody can pick up a spirit and take them back to your house and you not know it.
Exactly.
But they say, if you go to these, go to a place somewhere, you know it's haunted, you're taking a chance on taking something home. Like these guys, investigators, and they go to these houses, how many times they got to say something to, I have a prayer or a blessing or a protection around them so they don't take something home. So we would know when we were actually doing the research for the book and in the yard and everything, we had protection. I wouldn't do it with everybody we talked to. We had protection. So.
Yeah.
And so a couple of times I had to call angels. Sometimes I had a couple of bad spirits. I had to call angels to help come and take the spirit away. Because the spirit was just that mean.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, one time we were interviewing some spirits, and one of the spirits got really bad. And I was with my girlfriend. We were getting ready to go see a movie, and I had little knickknacks on the back of my toilet in the downstairs. Well, I went in the bathroom to go to the bathroom, and as I'm in the bathroom taking the leak, something cleared the back of the toilet off. All the knickknacks flew to the right, like somebody just took their arm and just wiped them all off.
Huh.
Yeah, it doesn't stop there. That thing followed me because we ended up going to the movie theater. On the way to the movie theater, I had to stop and get gas. So I got my credit card put in, and I'm pumping gas. So I had to go inside and get something. I was going to grab something to drink, I come back out, the thing's still pumping. Here, the gas, it was pumped up over $75 in gas. And gas, my whole car was surrounded in gasoline.
No.
Yeah. So, I mean, here I had a bad spirit that was following me. I had to get rid of it on the spot. But anyway, yeah, and then it went to the movie theater with me. So I had to go to the bathroom in the movie theater. So when I go in the bathroom, the guy's urinals, just the guy's urinal. Well, it splashed water up on my pants and everything from just that urinal there.
Wow.
Water was coming out at me, like in the movies, but this was no movie. Like the water was coming out at me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was a bad spirit. I don't know what I was pissed off about, but I had to get rid of him. Because that's it messed with me at my house. Then it was at the gas station. All that gas was pumping out. I asked the girl. I said, "Can I get a refund on that?" Like, no. I'm like, okay, so I'm out. My tank would usually take like $30.
Wow.
Here they pumped $75 in gas in it.
That's a lot of
But
gas.
it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't in my tank though. It was all around the car.
Yeah.
It was crazy. The whole car was around it. And I told my girlfriend, "Don't get out of the car because there's gasoline everywhere." She's like, "Okay." It was, we didn't expect that, we knew it picked up from the house, So we had during that 2 years, that year and a half or 2 years, waiting to get published. It was a lot going on in the house.
Wow. Are you still in that house?
No. I'm not there anymore. I moved. I'm in an apartment now.
Yeah.
But it was I was in that house for 9 years.
Do you know if the people, do you know if anyone's living in that house now?
Yeah, somebody else bought the house, yes.
Yeah. Curious to know if they're having activity.
I'm not in contact with them, though.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's wild.
Yeah, it is. because I'm sure they got some activity going on, because it was heavy when I was in there.
Yeah. And not only are they drawn to you, but there was already some in the house when you bought it, so.
Yes. Once the 5 got out and they started seeing things happening, the other spirits would want to come in and talk to me.
Excuse me. Do you still have spirits talking to you now?
Not as much. I mean, because I'm not listening for it like I was there.
Yeah.
I do hear stuff every now and then, because right now we have this house we're staying at, like, kind of want to say blessed, so it's protected. It's under protection, so I don't have any of those spirits coming at me like we did before. But I thought about writing something else in the paranormal, but I haven't done that yet. Like a paranormal book, something to follow up with the guest in my house.
Yeah, you should.
I know that book really took a lot out of me, though. There's a lot of spirits, a lot of things that went on that no one would know about. It was pretty intense with everything we had to deal with. In that book, though, I talked to angels also. We talked to the four archangels, and we talked to some regular guardian angels, and I talked to a seraphim.
Wow.
It's pretty, and they tell me about heaven. So in the book, you'll find also what I found out about heaven. And we talked to some other things too, but the angels were very interesting to talk to. We talked to Michael the archangel.
Yep.
Talked to Gabriel about the time he had to. It was Gabriel while he's waiting for his trumpet to sound, and he says he's just waiting for it. And he had come. He said, "God, we're going to have to expand heaven. All these people coming to heaven. We're going to have to expand it." And God said, "Well, Gabriel, you don't know the humans." There's a lot.
Out of all the entities you've spoken to, you say the angels are the ones that are the most interesting?
Well, I spoke to other things too, but yeah, there were some other things that were very interesting too. But we spoke to some demons. We spoke to some angels. The fallen angels. The 12 fallen angels in the Bible. If anybody knows the Bible, there's 12 fallen angels in the book. In the very beginning, that God kicked out of heaven. Well, those 12 were fallen angels were turned out to be the Greek gods, Zeus, Aphrodite, all those guys. Who else? Zeus, Aphrodite, the water god. What's his name?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, I can't think of him.
Neither can I.
It's not Aquaman.
No. Oh, that's annoying. I
know.
picture it, but
Zeus,
I can't remember.
Aphrodite, Hera, Athena.
Is it Poseidon or is it the other one?
Poseidon. No. Poseidon's the water god. Yes. Talked to Poseidon. That was interesting. When I first met him, he came out of the woods. They said there were demons in the back of my house, and they were telling me, "Watch out! He's going to be coming. He's coming soon." Here, what he was Poseidon, but he didn't introduce himself as Poseidon to me. He introduced himself as William to me.
William.
Yeah, but he was Poseidon. So we talked to him, and it's interesting because in the book they all tell something about the earth, like Poseidon's the god of all the waters. Zeus is the god of the skies. Aphrodite is the god of love. Hera is the god of like the hearth and marriage and things like that. But Artemis controls Mother Earth. She controls the earth. So, and Apollo is a sun god, so he controls the sun and things like that for God. So God gives Zeus commands and stuff, tells them what they're going to be doing, and then Zeus hands out those commandments to the other gods that will be controlling the earth. They'll control the water, the wind, the element, all 4 elements. Earth, was it fire, earth, wind, and fire? Or something like water, or something like that. But Hephaestus is the god of fire. And he says sometimes God tells him to burn down these things, like those forest fires. He says God gives him the okay, and he'll just go and burn them. It's pretty interesting because it shows how the order is still in place. God tells Zeus what to do, and Zeus tells them what to do. So, but in Athena, she had helped out. She got married to Alexander the Great when he was around. He won all those fights because she had helped him, and she was the god of war. So she knew all the planning and stuff like that. She would help him out and she actually had children with him when he was around, when they were around. Yeah, it was pretty interesting to find out all that stuff.
That is interesting. Wow.
Yeah, so they were intermingling with the gods back then. So Athena was the god of war, and she would end up having children with Alexander the Great, and he would conquer he conquered everything like that because he was with her. She helped him conquer all that. All those lands.
Had a little bit of help.
We had a lot of help, yeah. from higher up.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. So I thought that was interesting as I got to talk to them. I learned a lot more.
So did you talk to them again? This is all through EVPs?
Actually, no, they would come and talk through, EVPs, and just you could hear them talk to us after a long time. Because even after the book was written, they would still come talk to us.
Maybe they'll help you write another one.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like thinking what to write about if I did another book.
Yeah.
I mean, I had the house and I had the things I could write about and listen to, and I guess the material. But now I'm like, I don't know if I was going to write about another one, what I'd write about as far as paranormal goes. But I don't know. But the book's very interesting. You can learn a lot out of it from my personal experiences. I talk about, and to the spirits that I spoke to in the book. The book Ghost Stories actually got out of the backyard of my house. I talked to a bunch of people. I had one girl tell me she could smell popcorn in my house. And could she stay we were cooking popcorn the one night. And she goes, can I stay and smell the popcorn? She goes, I know I can't eat it, but can I stay and smell it?
Yeah.
I'm like, sure, if you tell me your story, give me what happened to you and how you died. So she did. She her boyfriend was a gangster, kind of like a thug, and he was cleaning his gun one day, and the gun went off and killed her.
Oh.
So she was like, they were really upset, but she followed her bone body to the hospital, and then she left from there. But it was sad. Some of the stories, like I had a little boy who was only 6 years old. He had died. He had been in the hospital time and time again for different things. Here, he had, last time he was in the hospital, his parents, he remembers his parents sitting by his bedside at the hospital. It was the next thing I know, I fell asleep. I closed my eyes and I woke up and I was standing behind him.
Wow.
Because he had passed away.
Yeah.
And I would also, in the book, I'll also ask at the end of every time of my interviews with all the spirits, I ask, is there anything because I told them I was writing, this was all going to be in the book. I said, is there anything you want to leave as like a lesson to be learned, or something you can tell the people that are still alive what to do, not to do? And his thing was drink your orange juice, because he had died from pneumonia.
Oh.
It was kind of fascinating.
That's it. I like that. Drink your orange. Hey, that could be the title of your next book.
Drink orange juice. Cranberry juice, prune juice, sure. And grab a lot of toilet paper.
Well, David, we're pretty much at the end, and
right.
I mentioned the name of the book in the intro, so why don't you give us the name again and of your book, where you can find it, where we can find you. The floor is yours.
The name of my book is A Guest in My House, and you can find it on Amazon at amazon.com/author/ my name, which would be David Guddy. You can find it on iTunes. Look for the book A Guest in My House. You can find it at Barnes & Noble. You can find it at Books A Million. And if you're going to purchase it from the UK, you can find it at amazon.com.uk. That'll take care of anything over in the United Kingdom.
Sounds like it's easy to find the book.
Oh, it's very easy to find the book. And I have a Facebook page you're more than welcome to look at. Lots of people comment on it about the book and leave pictures and things like that. Mm-hmm. And it's the Facebook page, just a guest in my house.
Okay.
And you can find it at Facebook, /a guest in my house. And that'll take you right there.
Awesome. Well, thank you so very much for your time. This was very, very interesting. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you very much.
You take care.
Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, we've made it to the end of another episode. Thanks so much for listening. Until next time, take care of each other. And if you'd like to be on the show or have questions or comments, just drop me an email, paranormalheart13@gmail.com.
Paranormal Heart would like to extend a special thank you to PurplePlanet.com for supplying the music for the show. The views and opinions expressed on Paranormal Heart are those of the host and participants.